Hey everyone, today we're reading Numbers chapter 9 together. It's going to kind of take on two different parts. The first part is God giving some further instructions about the Passover. It's been a year since the Israelites celebrated the Passover for the first time, how God gave the Israelites instructions for them to follow in order for the final plague not to apply to them, for the angel of death to pass over them. And so they had this celebratory meal. And so God said to do this in remembrance every single year at the same time. But at this time, a year later, some of the Israelites brought up that they were not able to participate in the Passover because they were ceremonially unclean because they had just touched a dead body. And so they come to Moses and ask him, what are they to do? And so Moses goes to God, and God gives the instruction that they can still celebrate the Passover at the same time, just a month later. And the same goes for people who are traveling too, that they can celebrate the Passover while they are traveling. So we're going to kind of switch gears here to the second part, and we're going to look at how the Israelites have navigated through the wilderness. God is leading them and guiding them. So in verse 15, we start here. It says, "On the day the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered it. But from evening until morning, the cloud over the tabernacle looked like a pillar of fire. This was the regular pattern. At night, the cloud that covered the tabernacle had the appearance of fire. Whenever the cloud lifted from over the sacred tent, the people of Israel would break camp and follow it. And wherever the cloud settled, the people of Israel would set up camp." So here's the scene. Every time that the Israelites would settle, they would set up the tabernacle, which was the place where the Israelites worshiped. It was a mobile temple, a mobile worship space, as you would say. So they needed this place to come and worship God. And so they would set up this mobile worship center, this tabernacle, for them to worship. Now, during the day, it says a cloud covered the tabernacle, but during the night, it looked like a pillar of fire. Now, both of these were visible evidence of God's presence, tangible evidence of God's presence. And God led the people on their journey through these visible representations. In verse 22, we read this: "Whether the cloud stayed above the tabernacle for 2 days, a month, or a year, the people of Israel stayed in camp and did not move on. But as soon as it lifted, they broke camp and moved on. So they camped or traveled at the Lord's command, and they did whatever the Lord told them through Moses." They were trusting in God to lead and guide them towards this promised land, the land that God had promised to lead them to out of Egypt. Now, how God led and guided them through this pillar of fire and this cloud that hung over the tabernacle, it reminded me of an image that a friend of mine adapted from Psalm chapter 119, and I'm going to read that here. Verse 105, it says, "Your word is a lamp to guide my feet and a light for my path." And the image that my friend said is that God gives us a lamp to guide our next steps, even though sometimes we want a floodlight to light the entire way. We want to see how we get to the place that we're going. But God says, no, trust me. Here's a lamp. Take this next step and trust me along the journey. And as I said, we often want that full floodlight to ignite where we're going completely. But that wouldn't require much faith, would it? I firmly believe that if I were to know multiple steps down the line, I would mess it up, or I would be so overwhelmed with future Sarah problems or future Sarah points on the path that I would again mess it up or feel so overwhelmed that I wouldn't even know what to do. And so I think it's out of the Lord's kindness that he just gives us a lamp for our next step. And it's up to us to surrender control, really, and look to him to guide us on every single step. God knows the way And just as he led the Israelites from Egypt to the promised land, even though it took them 40 years, the Israelites walked step in step with God, and he was faithful in his promise. And he's going to be faithful in his promise to lead you along the path he has for your life too. And we just got to trust him. So today, may you be encouraged that God is walking with you, and he's leading and guiding you with his tangible presence right with you every step of the way. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.
If these devotional videos are helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.